2.5 years ago, we launched Finicity, our financial data API, our Finicity Data Services business here at FinDEVr in September in San Francisco. And at the same time, I was also in the middle of a home loan refinance. But I'll come back to that later. For those of you who don't know Finicity, let me give you a quick overview of who we are. So when we launched the company in 2000, yes, I've been doing this since 2000, and I've got the scars to prove it. But when we launched the company in 2000, we launched truly with a mission to help people make smarter financial decisions based upon better insights through our PFM called envelopes. We fueled those insights with data aggregation. And we spent the last 15 years supporting consumers that are looking to improve their lives financially. It's truly part of our core mission. And in 2014, we took that asset of data aggregation and we put an API on top of it, put out our shingle, and started to offer aggregation to the market. And truly, the ride has been thrilling. 2016 especially, we've seen a partnership with Intuit. We closed a $42 million round of funding led by Experian, and we've seen dramatic partner and customer growth on our platform. Today we're here to talk about the use of financial data aggregation in credit decisioning, which is a new business segment that we've been focusing on for the last year, and very excited about. So let's go back to my refinance experience 2.5 years ago. You know, the process was arduous. It required me to provide both PDF and physical statements to my loan officer. The document collection and close for a refinance took 45 days. Now, let's take a look at how it would be used using the Finicity API for income and asset verification and using our new Finicity Connect app. And we'll see the demo and we'll kind of wrap back around to a description. All right, so in this demo, Jesse is my loan officer, and he works for Acme Lending. And Acme Lending, I'm a customer, and let's say that I'm sitting with you and I want to do a loan application. What do I do? If I'm not providing you documents, how do I get you the data you need?
Right. So we'll just go through as if this is on our consumer-facing portal. So let's say you're buying a new home. We'll go ahead and select that option. And for the sake of our demo, we'll skip the first step of the mortgage application process, which is collecting personal information, and jump right into the document collection portion. So this is typically where you would collect paper statements, collect tax information, or other forms of employment verification. And instead of doing it manually, we have a digitized process. So I'm going to go ahead and click on our Select Accounts button, and this will launch the Finicity Connect application. Some of the more astute may notice that it's running on localhost, so the Acme site is on localhost, but this is using our production Finicity Connect environment. So I'll go ahead and do that now, which will launch Finicity Connect. Wi-Fi is working well, so that's good. So start the user off by just giving them a little bit of context about what they're going to do and offer the ability to read the terms and condition and then accept that. So I'll go ahead and do that and go on to the next screen where they can search for their actual institution here. Again, for the sake of our demo, we'll go ahead and use our FinBank Profiles Bank. So this is basically a testing bank that we use and offer for developers as well to be able to test in a complete end-to-end way the add account process and the actual generation of the verification and verification of income and verification of asset reports. We have different profiles that correlate to different personas. There's 6 different personas with specific transaction sets associated with them that generate different types of reports. So for this, we'll just go ahead and use our first profile, make sure I type that correctly, and add the actual accounts. So here I can go ahead and select my account. This profile only has a single checking account, so I'll go ahead and add that account. After which I will then be offered the ability to either go through and add additional institutions or accounts, or in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I'm done. Here we're confirming and informing the user that we have a verification of income report that's going to be generated, and then also offer the ability to save accounts, which we're not going to do today. So say no thanks there, and redirect back to Acme Lending at that point where we can see that we have a successful message.
So awesome, Jesse, thank you. So if the consumer's on the phone, and let's say the lender doesn't have a POS for the consumer to do this, how do you get the consumer to do an income or asset verification report?
Yeah, so we also offer an API that will send an email to the user asking them to go through this process remotely. So the user does not have to be physically present in order to go through this process. We do offer an out-of-band experience as well.
Awesome. So as a summary, Connect is being used by lenders seeking to digitize their income and asset verification systems in both POS as well as LOS environments. And with very little effort, a lender or a lender platform can integrate the Finicity API using Connect, this drop-in widget, and never touch customer credentials. So there's two use cases. One is quick developer onboarding into the platform to be able to do the add account experience, but also this is a production-worthy product that can be integrated into any live POS or LOS application and get you out of the business of having to touch credentials. So truly, data aggregation is changing the world of credit decisioning. So our income verification product, our asset verification product, a couple of quick details. So we go with our integrations, we go back and get as much data as the bank will give us, typically 12 to 24 months of transaction data. We then, in the income report, we extract income streams from that data, and we provide a report. We're going to give you an example of a report here in a second. And with VOA, you can see the details there if you've got more questions. One additional important factor here is that because we started early and because of our partnership with Experian, we became a CRA, a consumer reporting agency, which is, we're not just FCRA compliant, we are a full CRA, and we have the ability to do dispute resolution back to the consumer or escalated dispute resolution with a reseller. So go ahead and move to the next one. Then our APIs are live now. If you go to finicity.com, you can create an account. You can actually see the APIs and see them work and use the FinBank profiles. Next slide. So let's talk a little bit more about this relationship with Experian. So for this group, the reason the Experian partnership is important to note, because aggregation has been done for the last 15 years, right? It's that we've approached using aggregated data to support credit decisioning in a really unique way that's unique in the market. Number one, security. We've made massive investments in security to be able to pass Tier 1 audits from, number one, the world's largest bureau, and many of the top FIs in the world. So, number two, certified data reliability. Data aggregation typically has a box of chocolates kind of an experience. And so what we wanted to do was provide connections that we made sure that, number one, that they're up and available, and that all the data is required to create a full report. So we've risen the bar with the integrations to make sure that the institutions that are provided in the product are going to work. And with this Experian relationship, it's deepened our relationship with financial institutions. So no longer are we kind of sitting on the outside representing the consumer to get their data, but deepening those relationships with FIs to make this part of the next generation lending ecosystem. So just as a quick review, we started in financial management. This was in 2.5 years ago. We released last year a payment initiation API, the ACH account verification. And now with the release of credit decisioning and the Experian partnership, not only have we taken data aggregation to a new level, but also we are speeding up the lending process in a way that is FCRA compliant. We are a CRA, and we're able to help lenders digitize their mortgage experience, or any loan experience for that matter, very rapidly. Competition is heating up. Great user experiences, the speed of decision making and speed to close. If a consumer can go and fill out multiple applications, who do you think is going to win? It's the first one to say yes. And we provide that digital experience through both the API and this Connect product. Literally, this is like the dream come true. 15 years into this project. 2.5 years after my arduous lending experience, we're literally changing the way mortgages and other loans are underwritten, and we're changing consumer experiences, making them easier and faster, and truly achieving our mission to help consumers make smarter financial decisions by enabling you, the developers, with these amazing solutions. And so that's all I've got in terms of the presentation. We've got a few minutes left. We can go ahead and move on to questions. What is your country coverage? So it depends on the product, but with our income and asset verification, our focus is on the US only. Second question is, how does this compare to Roostify? I don't have a lot of detail on that. I don't know how it exactly compares. I know that they are providing a lending experience using aggregation. I think one of the big differences is that we are a CRA, and that we're just providing income and asset verification reports via API or via this helper app. How do you handle two-factor auth? So two-factor auth is part of this bank onboarding process. So you can put in your credentials, and if it's multi-factor authentication in the form of questions and answers or one-time passcode, we support all different kinds of multi-factor authentication in the workflow. So it's all documented in the API. It's already built into the Connect product, so you don't even have to think about it. Third, what's the tech stack behind Finicity? We're a Java shop. For underwriting, how much history does Finicity? Did somebody have more detail on that? What's the tech stack? Okay. For underwriting, how much history does Finicity offer on borrower income and assets? So again, we get as much as the financial institution will provide, which is typically 12 months to 24 months. Are you day one certified with Fannie Mae? So we announced yesterday, there was a press release about the partnership between Finicity and Experian, and in that was announced a pilot with Fannie Mae for our VOA product. And what's the pricing model? So the pricing is based in income and asset verification. It's based upon a per report, successful report generated model. Is this an LOS, or does it integrate with common losses? So this is LOSs. So this is we talked about the POS flow versus the LOS flow. The LOS is where the loan officer is sitting in front of a computer on the phone with the applicant and putting in information. And that out of band, that email that goes to the consumer so that they can go in and do an income or asset verification report, that's what we do. So thank you very much. Thanks for the time.